When I was in middle school, I got fucking stabbed. Kinda. So back in the day, my best buddy and I, we used to be fucking idiots all the time and do dumb shit that just gets us hurt, and we would just laugh at it and be like, that was fun, that was awesome. But the biggest thing we used to do was we had this year-long tradition where we would go to the middle of the desert, the middle of fucking nowhere, and ride dirt bikes, right? So our dads would take us on this dirt bike ride and we would just do dumb shit. So both our dads would take us on this dirt bike ride and we would do dumb shit for the entirety of the trip. And it's a miracle we're still alive, I'm gonna be honest. Now the first year of this tradition happened to be the worst year for me. The year I got stabbed. Now the first year we were both just learning how to ride dirt bikes, and he got it way better than mine. Like, I was like, it took me the whole day to learn how to ride a dirt bike, and within seconds he was like, I got it. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? And he was one-upping me. Like, within the first day he was going off ramps and shit. He was like doing tricks on a dirt bike within the first day of learning how to do dirt bike riding. Shit was insane, dude. And I wasn't letting him fucking one-up me. So it took me a day. I was struggling for a good day. I didn't know how, like, to press the gas. I didn't know how to move a dirt bike. But once I did, let me tell you, once I did, I went off. Second day rolls around, my homie's going around, just doing tricks, going like, haha, you suck, Atlas, you doo-doo, look at how good I am, I already did a fucking kickflip 360 on my dirt bike. And I wasn't having it. I wasn't gonna let him one-up me. So the second day of me ever riding a dirt bike, I decide, fuck it, we're going on the biggest ramp in the desert. Because it's like a little obstacle course in the desert. And we're going off the biggest fucking ramp at max speed, 5th gear, full throttle. So my dumbass goes, hey Brandon, look at this shit. And then he's like, what? And he's like doing his like little kick flips and stuff on a dirt bike. He didn't really do that, but he was doing his little tricks. And I was like, I put in 5th gear. I put that shit maximum speed, fucking full throttle. I was zooming. I was going like 100 miles per hour. It felt like I was going 100 miles per hour. I was probably going like a good 30, but it felt like I was a fucking badass. I fucking put 5th gear as fast as I can go. I found the biggest ramp and I fucking hurled my shit off that ramp. I jumped off that ramp and I got so much height that I was like 10 feet off the ground on the dirt bike, just shitting myself, just about to cry on the dirt bike. I'm like, are you seeing this, buddy? I'm doing the cool trick while I'm shitting myself. And miraculously, I landed it. I didn't get hurt. Like, I kind of landed it. It hurt my back and I was like, oh, that fucking hurt. But I landed it. And I should have died. But I'm still here. And I was like, that was sick as fuck. I'm gonna do it again. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Don't do that. You're about to die. Stop doing that. This is your second day. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. So I fucking did it again. And again. I did it like 5 times. I got my buddy's dad to record it. I was going off the ramp and my buddy's dad was like recording me as I was like doing my death wish shit. Just jumping 10 feet in the air with a motorcycle bike. Just almost dying over and over again. And it was fucking awesome. And I felt so good. And I was just like, that was cool. So then I went on a little trail after. So, you know what the fuck thing is? You know what's fucked up? I did that death wish shit. I did that shit where I should have like straight up died. I max gear, full throttle, fucking as fast as the dirt bike could physically let me go, and I jumped off the biggest ramp. I did that shit like 20 times and I was a-okay. And then I went on a fucking trail, and as I was like turning a turn, I fell on some loose gravel, and why the fuck did I get hurt there and not at the place where I was like basically signing my death wish mid-flight? I was flying on my dirt bike just signing my death wish, being like, gonna die. And then I survived. How the fuck? Anyways, so I was on this trail. I turned a corner. There was some loose gravel. I slid. There was like a little hill, and then I slid down the hill, and then I was like, oh fuck, because while I was sliding down the hill, I bonked my head on the handlebar, gave myself a concussion, a bloody nose, and like a black eye because I was just like riding down the hill, bonking my head, you know? And I broke my dad's glasses. And I just remember laying there at the bottom of the hill I fell down and being like, oh, my dad's gonna be so pissed at me, because these were his favorite glasses. These were his favorite glasses, and I fucking broke them. And I got a black eye, and I was like, oh shit, this ain't good, homie. This ain't good. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh, I think my dad's gonna be pissed. I got fucking broken glasses. Oh, this is not good. And I was like, why does my leg feel so warm? You know? I was just like, wonder what's happening down there. So I look at my leg, and you know the peg of the dirt bike? You know the little thing that sticks out, the little metal thing that sticks out of the dirt bike so you could put your feet on so your feet don't dangle? You know that thing? Yeah, that was kind of lodged into my leg. It just was impaled into my leg. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't realize that till now. And then all the pain just kind of set in at once. And I was like freaking out. And I was just like, oh shit. And I was like, I think I gotta get this like off of me. So I tried to push the dirt bike off of me. But the peg was still in my leg, so it just scraped inside my leg. And you know how fucking painful that was? To have a metal bar just inside your leg. And then I'm just like, I'm gonna just push it off. And then the metal bar scrapes on the inside of my fucking calf. That shit hurt. So then I was like, okay, that's not working. I'm gonna push it off of me. Go up, you know? Because that's better than just like going like that inside my fucking leg. So then I pushed it up and it still hurt, and I was just like, cool, this is where I die. This is it. I'm fucking dead. So I was just laying there accepting my fate, and this just random truck pulls up, and this trucker dude goes like, hey, you okay there, buddy? And I'm like, been better, I guess. Got a dirt bike stuck in my leg. And he's like, oh damn, that's tough. You need some help? And I was like, I'd appreciate that. I'd appreciate that a lot. And then he like comes down the hill, just like lifts up the dirt bike. And you're like, aight buddy, have a good one. And then he just fucking drove away. And I don't think he realized that I was in the middle of bleeding out. And he just kind of left me. And I was just like, damn. Now I'm stranded again. And it was tough because I was like a good distance away from the trailer that we were standing at. And mind you, this was all in the middle of the desert. So keep that in mind. So I was just kind of standing there looking at my leg. My jeans were just ripped. And then there was just this giant fucking hole in my leg. And I was like, guess I'm gonna die here. So then I was like, might as well like try to live. So then I took my dirt bike and I just kind of walked a mile home to the trailer, and I was just like, oh. So after almost bleeding out, I finally made it back to the trailer. And I like looked in the mirror, I saw my black eye and I saw my sunglasses. I'm like, oh, my dad's gonna be pissed about this. My black eye, my sunglasses, those were like $20. Oh my god. My dad's gonna hate me. $20 whole dollars? Oh my god. I can't repay him. I'm a fucking middle schooler. And I was just freaking out. And so I was just freaking out. And then I was like, okay, let's see what's up with the leg situation. So I took off my pants. And when I looked down, the hole was a lot bigger than I thought, because I thought it was just like a little thing stuck in my leg, and I thought it wouldn't be that big deal. It was that big of a hole just lodged into my leg, and I was like, oh, that's a lot. So my first thought, 7th grade, middle school me's first thought was, it would be really, really funny if I take some selfies with this. So I put on some shorts, posed my leg up like, and then I took selfies going like, doing like the duck lips and shit. I was like pretending to be an e-girl because I thought it was funny. Just I was doing like all the Instagram model fucking poses and shit with a fucking leg with a giant hole in it, just blood everywhere. My leg was just covered in blood. Like, it was more red than it was skin colored, and I was just in the background of the picture going, felt cute today, might delete later. And I sent it to all of my friends thinking it was the funniest shit ever. And they thought I was like dying. They thought they thought that was the last message they'll ever see of me. And I thought it was funny as shit. And I was like laughing, and then I was like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I might need help. So then I get my shorts on. I walk over. And I thought it was the second thing I did that you should never do. If you're bleeding out, never fucking do this. Get help immediately. But I thought it would be funny if I went up to my dad while he was talking to my best friend's dad. And I went up to both of them with my shorts on and just didn't say anything. So they were talking, they were like, yeah, mighty fine weather we're having. It's the middle of the desert. Can't wait to go back to my farm, start fishing, you know? And then my dad's like, yeah, mighty fine day. Haven't heard from that bitch of a wife. Feeling good. And they were just talking, having the time of their life, and I was in the corner going, I'm bleeding out. I can't wait for them to notice. It's gonna be funny. It's a little prank. And then they were just like, yeah, what a good day to be fishing. And then they like looked over, and they were like, holy fuck. And I was like, what's wrong, Dad? And he's like, holy shit, you're bleeding out. What the fuck? And I was like, haha, isn't it funny? He's like, no. And then he just starts having a panic attack. And I was just like, that's funny. My dad's freaking out because he thinks his son's gonna die. What a fucking loser. Oh, the comedy. It was funny as shit, dude. Middle school me was laughing so hard at the thought of my dad crying over my dead body. It was fucked up. But middle school me loved it, dude. So then eventually we came to the realization that we're in the middle of a fucking desert. We are in the middle of nowhere. We tried to find a hospital, but it turns out the nearest hospital is kind of 2 hours away. It's kind of 2 hours away, and we don't have that time because I'm kind of bleeding out at the moment right now, and I don't think I could survive that long. So we were freaking out. And it was lunchtime, so my dad was just like, stay here, eat the burger, have a good time. Just don't worry about that. Just wrap up the leg. We're just not gonna worry about that. I'll be right back. So then I was eating my burger with my homie, and I thought my dad just abandoned me. I thought he was just gonna leave me in the desert to fucking die. They just left in the truck, and I was just like, oh. So I'm just gonna bleed out in the middle of the desert. My dad abandoned me, and we're gonna die here. And I was like, talking to my buddy, I'm like, so, is this how you thought we would die? And he's like, nah, but at least these burgers are fucking bussin'. And we were like, oh god, bro, these burgers are bussin' for real. And we had the fucking barbecue Lay's chips. Oh, shit was so good. What a wonderful way to die. But then, to my surprise, they came back, and they were like, hey, we got super glue. We're gonna super glue your leg together. And I was like, I bet. And I don't think I fully realized what was happening. I think my concussed brain was too stupid to realize how much pain I was in. So like, I didn't really react to anything, and they were freaking out because I wasn't reacting to anything. I was literally sitting in a chair with my leg on a table while they were super gluing me back together. And then my dad's friend was trying his best to like distract me. He was like, he would take chips and put it on my plate and be like, eat the chips, focus on the chips, don't focus on your leg. And I'll be like, no, I want to look at the leg. This shit's interesting as fuck. How often do you get to see a leg getting super glued together? So I was like, nah, fuck the chips. I want to look at my leg. And he's like, eat the chips. And he was like panicking at the time. And I was just chilling. I was like, whoa, my fucking leg's getting glued together, homie. That shit's fucking wild. And everyone was just amazed that I wasn't like dying. Everyone was just amazed that I wasn't like panicking or anything. But my concussion stupid brain wasn't even feeling pain. Like I legit didn't even like feel that bad. Like I felt it, but it didn't like feel painful. It was just like, it felt weird. It felt gooey and weird. They were like messing around with the inside of my leg, super gluing it. And I was just like, that shit's weird. And everyone was amazed. They were like, oh my god, you're so tough and shit. And you're like, oh my god, you're so strong. So keep staying there, buddy. He was holding my hand as I was eating my chips. And he's like, you got this. You can make it. And I was like, I just want to eat my fucking hamburger in peace. But anyways, So yeah, my leg got super glued together, and when we went back to church later that week, everyone knew the story. Everyone saw me as this fucking brave war hero, because apparently I was getting my leg fucking super glued together. And I just didn't have any reaction to it at all. Like, they were super gluing my leg together, and everyone else was freaking out more than me. And everyone just thought I was like a fucking battle-scarred war veteran that has seen it all, and he just doesn't feel pain anymore. And everyone was like, oh my god, you're so brave for going through that. Oh my god, you did so good. And I don't know if it was because I'm a middle schooler and you like to stroke kids' egos so they actually feel good about themselves when, like, they did nothing. Like, sometimes you eat a piece of broccoli and your parents are like, oh, you did so good, you're doing great, honey. I don't know if it's that or the fact that, like, they actually, like, the rumors were, like, more than, like, I think, like, my friend and my friend's dad were saying that, like, I was on the verge of death. Like, I got stabbed, like, 27 times in the leg. I was fucking bleeding out. And then I was, like, gritting it like a real man, going, like, this ain't shit. But in reality, there was just, like, the one hole in my leg, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just kept eating my burger. But they told us this, like, war story. So when I went back to church, I was known as, like, a fucking war hero. Like, even recently, like a year ago, I was talking to one of the people at church, and they were like, dude, there was this kid that got a fucking hole in his leg because he didn't wear his motorcycle boots, and, like, and then he got, like, super glued it together, and I was just like, oh yeah, that kid sounds like a dumbass. I would hate to be that kid. They were like, right? Fuck that guy. And I was just like, hey man. But anyways, yeah, that's how I became known as a local war hero in my church, and how I got fucking stabbed by a dirt bike. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I thought that was a funny story. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the closest I've ever gotten to, like, death, because I was on the verge of passing out, and I think that's interesting. So yeah, see ya.